See you next year, same time. Tallinn.
We love you, Denmark! We love you! All right!
BBC One invites you to the BAFTAs, the most glittering night in the celebrity calendar. Can Ali G pocket the Comedy Show Award? Will Anne Robinson see off the competition on the road to world domination?
You are the weakest link, goodbye.
And the royal family hope to clean up. But not if Victor Meldrew has a say in it. Join Angus Deaton and take your seat for the glamour and glitz of the BAFTA Television Awards, tomorrow at 8 on BBC One.
Your secret is out.
10 million people listen to Radio 2 every week. That's enough people to reach round the coast of Britain twice.
We broadcast live from the Country Music Awards in Nashville.
Come and join us.
Radio 2 plays over 1,500 tracks every week, most of which I choose myself.
43 disc jockeys bringing us a pageant of music. Everything from boogie-woogie, ska and other knees-up stuff.
There are millions of you tuning in, and we know who you are.
Radio 2, the most listened to radio station in the UK.
Now on BBC One, tonight's lottery results. In the National Lottery draw, the 6 winning numbers are confirmed as 6, 29, 30, 38, 39, 45, and the bonus is number 22. Early indications show that there are 2 jackpot winners, each collecting just over £4 million. The winning numbers in the lottery extra draw are 6, 11, 21, 34, 46 and 48. Initial reports show that there is one very lucky winner of tonight's jackpot, receiving an estimated £20 million. The National Lottery Thunderball numbers are confirmed as 2, 15, 24, 25 and 29, and the Thunderball is 7. The news now on BBC One with Sarah Montague.
The Conservatives say stealth taxes will go up under Labour. Labour accused the Tories of not controlling extremists in their party. The great train robber Ronnie Biggs will appeal against his prison sentence. So long and thanks for all the fish. Douglas Adams, the man behind Hitchhiker's Guide, has died. Good evening. The first weekend of the election campaign, and the main issues have been tax and Europe. The Tory leader William Hague has claimed the only way the government can raise the money it needs is through stealth taxes. He said it could mean petrol going up to £6 a gallon. But Labour, who've been campaigning today on their plans to help the elderly, say the poorest pensioners could be up to £500 a year worse off under the Conservatives. The Liberal Democrats claim they're the only party with honest spending plans.
If everyone was this keen on Tony Blair, Labour would have nothing to worry about. As it is, he's counting on a promise to hold down income tax to help Labour please the voters. Wife Cherie alongside Mr Blair saying that Labour can be trusted to deliver good public services after turning round the economy.
What we've got to do now is to build on those stable economic foundations, make sure that we keep inflation low, keep mortgages low, keep jobs high, and make sure also that we get the investment into our public services that give us the best education system in Europe, a decent national health service, and the numbers of police we need on our streets. And that is what we're doing.
William Hague needs a few more cheers if the polls are right, so he's predicting £6 for a gallon of fuel under Labour. His way of warning that taxes would go up to fund Labour spending.
The huge £10 billion tax increase that the Labour Party would have to introduce in order to finance their spending plans would have to be paid for by stealth taxes of one sort or another.
Economists say there may be a gap in Labour finances if spending rises at the current rate for another 5 years. The petrol price warning looks like a ploy.
I think it's inconceivable that we could see the kind of increase in petrol tax that Mr Hague is suggesting Mr Blair might go for, even were Mr Blair's government to win the election and to want to put up taxes. I'm sure this is not how they choose to do it.
The Lib Dems have been campaigning on tax rises as a way to guarantee good public services.
Because we're the only party that is saying, if you vote for us to achieve and deliver quality public services in terms of local schools, local hospitals, more police to combat crime, more support for pensioners, we're actually going to tell you where the tax will be levied, how much it will raise, and how much that can achieve.
Today, everyone in Labour's campaign is singing the praises of the government's economic record. The promise to hold down income tax comes later, and with it, Labour's hoping more popularity. Labour can also expect more accusations of planning to pay for its spending promises with other taxes instead. The Tories are calling them stealth taxes, and today's prediction of a £6 gallon of petrol was meant to provoke Labour into joining the debate about its tax plans. For all the parties, winning that argument, and with it the trust of the voters, is a key objective in this campaign. John Pienaar, BBC News, Westminster.
Away from tax, the Conservative leader William Hague has refused to rebuke one of his senior MPs who compared plans for a closer European Union with Hitler's Mein Kampf. Sir Peter Tapsell also said he would never support a single European currency.
I'm very strongly Eurosceptic, as you know.
Sir Peter Tapsell campaigning at the last election. Since then, his views on Europe haven't changed, but even his own party has condemned the language of his latest comments. Last night, he warned party members not to ignore the plans of Germany's Chancellor for further European integration, drawing a parallel with Germany in the 1930s. We may not have studied Hitler's Mein Kampf in time, he said, but by heaven, there's no excuse for us not studying the Schroeder Plan now.
Sir Peter's language was inflammatory and exaggerated, but it's his own choice of language. It's not the view of the Conservative Party. We wouldn't make those sorts of comparisons.
But for Labour, the Chancellor Gordon Brown said if Sir Peter wasn't punished, William Hague would have failed a test of leadership.
A test as to whether he can bring himself to make clear to all his candidates that the kind of language used by Sir Peter Tapsell should have no place in British politics.
In opposing the euro for the next 5 years, Sir Peter stands shoulder to shoulder with his leader. But his pledge never to vote for a single currency is not party policy. Opponents say it's significant he hasn't been condemned for that.
No matter what Mr Hague may say in public, there's an increasing number of people in the Conservative Party who are wholly opposed to the single currency in all and any circumstances.
Pro-Europeans and sceptics have signed up to the same policy on a single currency, but only for the next 5 years. That should see them through this campaign. And privately, there are those here at party headquarters who, like Sir Peter Tapsell, believe ruling out joining the euro forever would have popular appeal. Sean Lay, BBC News at Conservative Central Office.
The first opinion polls since the Conservatives launched their election manifesto show no signs of a gain in support for them. The weekend polls continue to put Labour strongly ahead. Peter Snow's been looking at the figures.
Well, Sarah, if the Tories reckon they're off to a good start, there's no sign of that yet in the polls. 3 new ones tonight. NOP in the Sunday Times talking to people yesterday and the day before. ICM in the Observer, also conducted Thursday and Friday. That's the biggest Labour lead in ICM for more than a year. And Murray in the Sunday Telegraph, sampling up to today. Now, all put Labour within a point or so of 50, the Conservatives on 32 and 31%, and the Lib Dems on 13 to 15. Now, here's where we'll plot the rise and fall in the battle for public support till election day. And the first cluster of polls when the election was called saw Labour as high as 54% and as low as 49, averaging 51, with the Tories averaging 32 and the Lib Dems 13. Now we can add tonight's 3 polls half a week later. Labour up here with less of a range than last time, averaging 49, the Tories 32 and the Lib Dems a point up at 14. But given that the margin of error is up to 3%, small changes like this are hardly significant. So on with our swingometer, and if voters don't swing from one major party to the other compared to the last election, Labour would maintain their majority of 179. But if people voted as they're telling the pollsters they will, the average swing tonight is 2% to Labour. And that would see Mr Blair back with a larger majority of around 200. But it is worth noting that when it comes to the real vote, In every national election in the last decade, Labour have done rather less well than their rating in the polls. Sarah.
Peter, thank you. The train robber Ronnie Biggs is to appeal against his original 30-year prison sentence. Biggs has been visited by his lawyer in the top security Belmarsh jail, where he's been kept since his return from Brazil on Monday.
Ronnie Biggs was banking on reducing his sentence when he flew home courtesy of the Sun newspaper and gave himself up to the police.
Ronald Arthur Biggs, I'm now going to formally arrest you.
He's officially still got 28 years of the 30-year sentence to serve. His lawyers spent several hours with him in prison. This evening they confirmed Ronnie Biggs will apply for permission to appeal. He claims by modern standards his sentence is too long, but there's no guarantee he'll even get a full hearing.
The normal time for making an appeal or seeking an appeal is in fact just 1 month, and here we're way out of that time. The Court of Appeal, however, has power to consider new evidence such as medical aspects.
Biggs was taken to the hospital wing at Belmarsh Jail. The prison service says he's ill but not suicidal. It's revealed he's formally being disciplined under prison rules for escaping back in 1965. Kevin Crace masterminded his return to the UK and has visited him several times.
His state of mind, again, he's in Belmarsh, which is a maximum security prison. So obviously he's trying to come to terms and cope with the confines of a maximum security prison. But I would say that he's very happy to be back in the United Kingdom, although physically his health is very, very poor.
If the appeal fails, Ronnie Biggs could still ask the Home Secretary to intervene on compassionate grounds. Margaret Gilmore, BBC News.
The Indian Supreme Court has ruled that 2 of the Hinduja brothers who face bribery and corruption charges there can leave the country before the case comes to trial. It was SP and GP Hinduja's applications for British passports that led ultimately to Peter Mandelson's resignation. The third brother has been told he must stay in India. The Ministry of Defence has admitted Australian servicemen were used in radiation experiments in the 1950s, but it denied putting them at risk. Papers found in an Australian archive reveal men were ordered to run, walk and crawl across contaminated areas to test clothing.
The South Australian desert was the scene for a series of substantial nuclear tests carried out by Britain during the 50s and 60s. At the time, the Australian government agreed to the programme.
We'd been informed there were going to be atomic explosions, but not in your wildest dreams did you think you'd be that close to an explosion of that force.
0. It's now alleged that a group of Australians were used as human guinea pigs by the British authorities. It's claimed that new documents prove they were dressed in various types of clothing and told to roll around in contaminated areas close to the explosion. The Ministry of Defence in London has confirmed the tests took place, but says radiation in the area was low.
The fact is that no veteran, to my knowledge, or to the knowledge of the Ministry of Defence, was subjected to radiation without their consent. Those who are claiming to have been are mistaken about the exposure that they had. That is what all the evidence suggests.
Even before these latest allegations, there was a growing sense here that this country was badly used by Britain during the nuclear testing era. The conduct of the British authorities will now come under even closer scrutiny. Michael Peshat, BBC News, Sydney.
5 people have been killed in 3 separate light aircraft crashes. A pilot died when his Second World War fighter plane crashed at an airfield in Northamptonshire. 2 people were killed when their light aircraft crashed at Ossey Island off the coast of Essex, and a further 2 people died after a light aircraft crashed as it was trying to take off from an airfield near Leicester. Football now, and Liverpool and Arsenal played a thrilling FA Cup final in Cardiff this afternoon. Highlights are on Match of the Day after the news, so if you don't want to know the score, look away now. With 1 game to go, St Mirren looks certain to be relegated from the Scottish Premier League despite beating Aberdeen 2-1. At the other end of the table, Kilmarnock were hoping to secure a place in Europe. Their match with Rangers and the game at Dunfermline are on Sports Scene. So again, look away now if you don't want to know the outcome. Motor racing, and Michael Schumacher will be in pole position in tomorrow's Austrian Grand Prix. Schumacher will be starting from pole for the 5th time in 6 races this season as he bids to win the only Grand Prix that so far eluded him. There was disappointment for McLaren's David Coulthard, currently 2nd behind Schumacher in the Drivers' Championship. He'll start in 7th spot. The author Douglas Adams has died suddenly in California. He was 49. Douglas Adams became famous in the late 70s when his science fiction comedy, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, became first a cult radio and later a BBC television series. Our arts correspondent Nick Hyam looks back at his career.
As a radio series, it was joyously original. Science fiction crossed with knockabout comedy and metaphysical jokes. A television version followed, and a novel which sold 14 million copies.
Have a look at this.
What is it?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a sort of electronic book. Tell you everything you want to know.
I like the cover. Don't panic.
Here is what to do if you want to get a lift from a Vogon. Forget it.
The Hitchhiker's Guide spawned a series of spin-offs like The Restaurant at the End of the Universe and So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, unsettling as well as satirical.
That's not to say that there isn't some sort of serious intent behind it, but I actually find I don't know what I think about anything until I find the right joke for it.
Today, Douglas Adams's personal website was inundated with messages of shock and condolence from friends and fans. The Hitchhiker's Guide made him a wealthy man. Technology genuinely fascinated him, and he indulged his passion in a series of books and high-tech ventures. He proved to be a visionary, but one whose jokes showed he understood the sometimes terrifying absurdity of the future. Nick Hyam, BBC News.
Well, that's the latest. There will be news throughout the night over on the BBC's election channel, News 24. But from us, good night.
Good evening to you. You probably don't need me to tell you how warm it was today, but here's a confirmation of the figures. And Southampton was top of our league at 27 degrees Celsius, but many other locations had some very warm weather and lots of sunshine as well. Tomorrow could be equally as warm. We may see 24, 25, a bit more cloud coming and going in the far south, may just knock the edge off those temperatures, and still the risk of the odd shower coming and going across parts of Scotland. But generally it cools down. As we move into next week, we start to see quite a dramatic change in the temperatures. We'll start to lose those really high figures back to what we normally expect to see at this time of year. I've mentioned showers. Well, there's still 1 or 2 around right up in the far north of Scotland. They're gradually easing away now, but the thicker cloud coming in from the southwest could bring a few showers in the second half of the night, right in the far west of Cornwall, for instance. A mild night just about everywhere, 10, 11 or 12 degrees, I think, in the cities, but in the countryside down to around about 8 or 9. And then tomorrow we start to see some showers start in the far southwest and creep their way steadily northwards. Now some of those could turn out to be heavy and thundery for a while. They may well clear the far southwest, and also one more shower turning up across parts of Scotland perhaps during the course of the afternoon. But between those two lines of showers there should be a lot of warm, dry weather and more of that sunshine to enjoy as well. As a reminder of those figures, up to 24 or 25 degrees Celsius. On to Monday's forecast, generally a much cooler feel to the day. Some showery outbreaks of rain pushing their way northwards, but either side of that, some sunshine returning, so not too bad. Bye for now.
Suburbia.
Good morning, Hillary. Sam?
Uncovered.
Why, sir?
I just want to keep the peace, Mrs. C. The Conans have arrived, and they mean business.
Into a bit of home enterprise, are you? I might be able to help you out myself. Video work, if you know what I mean.
Drop it! Drop it now!
All right.
Let's
see what we got here then, shall we? Residents, Wednesday at 10 on BBC Two.
First time I watched my son fight, he won the Olympic gold medal. I'm going to watch all his fights from now on.
The day he walked in here, you know what? He told me he was going to be a champ. I got it. And he is.
I think he's a big, big talent. I got soul! We're all really proud of him.
He's the man.
I'm teaching him some new moves.
Audley Harrison turns professional at 9:45 next Saturday live on BBC One and Radio 5 Live.
For live, uninterrupted commentary on tomorrow afternoon's Austrian Grand Prix, tune in to BBC 5 Live from 1 o'clock on 909 and 693 AM. Chris Eubanks on They Think It's All Over, and it's one not to be missed in 50 minutes here on BBC One after all the action from today's FA Cup final. Match of the Day with Gary Lineker.
Welcome to Match of the Day.
Good evening. The 120th FA Cup final, and the first outside of Wembley for 79 years, brought together Liverpool and Arsenal. We'll hear from a totally impartial Alan Hansen later and have the goal of the season competition. But first, the game itself. The AXA-sponsored FA Cup final, watched at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff by Mark Lawrenson and John Motson.
9-year-old Ryan Rocastle makes FA Cup history today. In memory of his late father, David, he leads out the Arsenal team for the first FA Cup final outside Wembley for 79 years. His Liverpool counterpart is Luke Chollerton, 8 years old from Northampton, and they and the players are greeted by a 73,000 crowd in a stadium which, in terms of intimacy, atmosphere and comfort, unquestionably does justice to the FA Cup final. Not only the first to be contested at Cardiff, but the first with 2 overseas coaches. Arsene Wenger in his second FA Cup final with Arsenal, Gerard Houllier in his second final of this season, with the third still to come in Dortmund on Wednesday. But the UEFA Cup final did not come into consideration, Gerard Houllier told me when he made his team selection today. Gary McAllister, Robbie Fowler and Patrick Berger all left on the bench, all arrived at the ground looking very disappointed. Nick Barmby, Jari Litmanen and Christian Ziege not even in the 16. Starting roles for Danny Murphy and Vladimir Smica, and the front 2 certainly fulfilled the form guide. Michael Owen with 6 goals in his last 3 games, Emil Heskey with 5 in this FA Cup campaign. Arsenal's Sylvain Wiltord goes one better with 6 FA Cup goals, and he starts ahead of fit again Dennis Bergkamp, who's on the bench along with Ray Parlour, Kanu and Lauren, who was on standby to play at right back after a late injury scare to Lee Dixon. Dixon, David Seaman and Tony Adams are all playing in their 3rd FA Cup final. And before the kick-off, there will be a minute's silence in memory of those who've died in recent stadium tragedies. The latest in Ghana on Wednesday, when 126 people were killed. Liverpool supporters in particular will identify with this moment. So the FA Cup final comes to Cardiff. There's been a lot of talk about the pitch. Mark Lawrenson has been on it.
Yeah, I sneaked on it about an hour and a half ago, John. I can tell you, it's absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong whatsoever. I even fancy playing on it.
It's a lovely afternoon as well. Here's Vieira from the kick-off for Arsenal. And the reason, or one reason why I think Liverpool have omitted McAllister, Mark, is that they'll want Gerrard to play a central role against Vieira.
Yeah, most definitely, and alongside Haman, and also offered some protection to the back 4, especially the back 2, Hippier and Holshaw.
There's Lee Dixon. Harman couldn't cut it out, but Wiltord couldn't collect it. This is Marcus Babbel, Liverpool playing in a change strip of gold shirts. Here's Thierry Henry in Arsenal's familiar red and white. Perez, in the centre is Wiltord here. And Perez has won the first quarter of the cup final. Rimondi is coming forward, and so is Keown, and also Adams. Anxious time this for the Liverpool defenders so early. Adams jumping, all well picked up by Westerveld.
Yes, that's exactly what he would need, and also the team would be happy with for the goalkeepers come and relieve the pressure so early in the game.
It really is a fantastic atmosphere. And that ball was played by Danny Murphy across to Michael Owen. Smeets is in support here for Liverpool. Still Owen. Turning Lee Dixon. Michael Owen across the goal, and this time Adams clears. It's a good start. Jamie Carragher's gone across to take the throw for Liverpool. Heskey in the 6-yard box. Heskey goes up with Keown. Finally, Arsenal get the ball away. Thierry Henry is the only one up there at the moment for them. Tangling with Sami Hyypiä, who is the Liverpool captain, with the decision to leave Fowler on the bench. Here comes Emile Heskey up against Tony Adams. And he turned 2 men there, Emile Heskey, but the third one got him, no foul. And Arsenal don't really find their front 2 then either. Here's Owen. And he forces a corner off Adams. Well, Hyypiä will come forward for this. And Gerrard's there as well, of course, over 6 foot. And Marcus Babbel. Babbel gets up here. Oh, and it ran to him a second time. And Arsenal escape, but in doing so, they've got a counter-attack on here. It's Thierry Henry. And 2 others going to the right here. If he can pick one of them out, he's got real chances with Wiltord. Now it's not Smeets, it's Wiltord again.
I do believe, watching Arsenal over the years, it is a problem that they do have, is when they break very, very quickly. They don't seem to get enough of their players into the opposition penalty area. It doesn't seem to be great urgency, which is a problem sometimes.
There's Robbie Fowler, who's been left among the subs. 2 lines of yellow shirts here for Arsenal to try and penetrate. This is Cole. Murphy robbed him. Here he is again. To Heskey. Now Lundberg. Henry is onside, jumps for Arsenal. Thierry Henry. Wiltord wants to pull back, and should he have pulled it back? He's missed the chance. Claims it was a corner, but the referee's given a goal kick.
Well done, Hornshaw. I think it was Hornshaw. Great little ball played into Henry. Great little ball, just onside, round Westerveld, no problem, and Honcho back, and really Wiltord was the pass.
I just wonder, Mike, whether there was a suspicion of hands there at the end of that incident.
Yes, I think there was a suspicion of it, John, most definitely, which is something that Henry claimed and Westerveld immediately denied.
Now then, Honcho is now just signalling where Babbel's to put this ball from the throw-in. They've got Heskey in there. The obvious time. Oh, and Owen was there! Blocked by Keown. Gerrard! Well, Michael Owen swiveled on that ball in the box. And Martin Keown here it is, who makes a very important block.
Yeah, great experience again, just old-fashioned throw-in, flick on. Owen reacted before anybody, but Martin Keown was very, very, very quick to throw.
You can see how close the crowd are to the pitch here. It's a world away from Wembley. And a better world, I have to say. Danny Murphy. Pass looking for Emile Heskey. It's a good ball, that. And Smeets is up in support. Michael Owen's also there. It's Heskey. Good block by Kim.
You know, needed to block in this place. He gave Heskey an extra use to turn and take him up.
Yeah, it's gone past Murphy. This is Henry. Wiltord to his right again. Liverpool closing down the space. It's Pires. To Vieira. Lundberg tried to sneak in on the far side, but the pass was overhit. Gerard Houllier making his feeling going over the far side. This is Babbel. Lost Henri. He's got Wiltord to his left, Vieira to his right. They're both to his right now. Takes on Onshow. Lundberg trying to get there, so Nixon. And it's come out to Grimondi.
Good break again by Henri. Only one person in the penalty area, Wiltord.
Arsene Wenger in the shirt and tie that Arsenal Cup final outfit. Very much a day for shirt sleeves, isn't it? This is Keown. Grimondi to Dixon. Forward by Keown. That's a foul by Heskey on Vieira, who takes the free kick quickly. Cole trying to get down this left-hand side. And in the end, he brought Babel down. Well, we're in the last minute of the half, Mark, and it hasn't been particularly memorable, I have to say.
No, it's been very lacklustre, very few opportunities for both sets of strikers, very few saves made. At the moment, if we give them the benefit of the doubt that it's extremely hot, and we could only hope that the second half will improve, but the quality of the final pass has been poor.
Now Heskey's closing in here, but it should be Seaman's ball. It's as if Gary McAllister may have come off the bench and got himself prepared here to come on for Liverpool. We're in the closing stages of the first half. 1 minute of overtime. Certainly doing some stretching down there, McAllister, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just wondering that Steven Gerrard whether he'd signalled to the bench just before that. Maybe he might be struggling.
Anyway, here's Babel raiding down the Liverpool right. Heskey is the target there, but once again the final pass disappointing. Remember that 45 minutes for too long, the spectators, because nothing very much occurred apart from the one Thierry Henry opportunity when he went round the goalkeeper, and then Stéphane Onshow somehow got in the way. But that was the only notable goal-mouth incident in the half. And the stadium looks brilliant. The weather is perfect. The football so far not so good. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. No provision for a replay these days in the AXA-sponsored FA Cup final. This will go to extra time and, if necessary, penalties, as the Worthington Cup final did, if there's no score in the second half. On the far side for Liverpool is Babel. And neither manager has seen fit to make a change so far, Mark.
No, I think both Arsene Wenger and Gerard Houllier will wait, John, for another 15 or 20 minutes. Really assess who's getting more time quickly.
That's gone over the head of Heskey to Owen, who's gone down under challenge from Keown, got back up again, and then collided with Cole. That is going to be a free kick. And Murphy's gone across to get the ball. Hoopier has come forward. So too Marcus Babel. And in front of them is Gerrard. Heskey! Oh, David Seaman managed to react. This is Hoopier. That was the closest Liverpool have come, Emile Heskey. And the goalkeeper was in the right place.
Great ball in, wasn't it, from free kick from Murphy. Just using his strength, Heskey, all the time, and an instinctive save by Seaman.
else it would have been a goal. That was quite well done by Wiltord. Now Perez. Third man in the triangle was Henry. He wasn't picked out and Liverpool can break. This is Vladimir Smitser. Heskey, oh, good tackle, Vieira. Picked that off beautifully. Perez. Now Vieira starts to move forward. Leaves it for Henry. Now Lundberg, just the two Arsenal players in the middle. Perez, Henry. Oh, that's terrific skill. It's come back to Perez. That's on the volley. And Henry's in here for Arsenal. Thierry Henry goes down. Oh, off the line. Would you believe that? That was Ashley Cole who nearly scored.
I think you find a great play as well initially. Lovely little ball in by Perez. It's a heck of a chance. Well done, Vesterveld. He came out. What happened eventually? I think actually it's Hoopier on the line.
Extraordinary this. Thierry Henry started the move, nearly finished it. Yes, it's Sami Hoopier on the line, and then Ashley Cole. We're going to have the first substitution of this cup final now. Gary McAllister, who's never played in the FA Cup final before, coming on at the age of 36, having been initially left out. Henry has turned his man there. This is Thierry. Oh, he's bending against the defender's legs. Here comes Freddie Lundberg. Oh, it's off the line again by Hoopier. And back with Henry. And didn't find Wiltord. And goodness me, Onshow got it away the second time. Well, Lundberg there had an opportunity to really open it up. Meantime, McAllister tries to pick out Heskey. Well, how close are Arsenal going to come? That's 3 off the line now. Vieira. Oh, he's starting to dominate proceedings. 4 up with him. Henry. Ashley Cole. Oh, he's overhit it. Well, Freddie Lundberg there had what you might class as the best chance of the match. It was the build-up down the other side with Henry again, come off the defender, and Westerveld wasn't going to get that. They've covered the line well, haven't they?
Yeah, Hoopier again immediately, instinctively ran to the line, made the header, then made sure that Henry was put under pressure.
Oh, dear me. How close are we going to come? Gerard Houllier has seen his captain, Sami Hoopier, clear 2 or 3 from either on or near the goal line. And Arsenal have certainly made more of the chances, but haven't managed to get the ball in yet. This is Wiltord. And it's Gerard. Heskey with Keogh. Here's Perez. Landed at the feet of Onshow from Vesterveld, that Perez may do something yet for Arsenal in this attack. Freddie Lundberg! Surely this time, Lundberg! Goal! Arsenal in the lead! Freddie Lundberg scores! 26 minutes gone in the second half, and they've got it past Vesterveld again, and this time there was no defender on the line. Freddie Lundberg! Arsenal celebrated. Perez was influential here in the back. There was a very poor kick initially by the goalkeeper, and Onshow didn't get it away. Perez, Lundberg, round Vesterveld. 1-0 Arsenal. Mark.
Well, the key to the goal, the timing of the run from Lundberg, kept his head, saw the goal. I mean, marvellous way, took the ball away from Vesterveld. Knew exactly what he was going to do, and it evaded Carragher on the line.
Lundberg, who yesterday was linked with a move to Fiorentina, which Arsenal have completely dismissed. He's put Arsene Wenger in the right mood here. Gerard Houllier now has to reconsider his plans. Will he bring on Robbie Fowler? Owen. And now Schmitzer for Liverpool. Heskey coming in from the far side here, but nicely played out of defence by Adams. And the goal scorer's on the ball again, and here's Thierry Henry. It's Henry for Arsenal. Can he make it two? Oh, well done, Westerveld. Henry again. Did he get hold of it? And off the line again by Hoopier. I can't believe this. That's 4 times.
Great play again by Henry. Again, the timing of the run, the placement of the pass. Great ball from Lundberg. In behind Hoopier. And really, Arnshaw just slipped. He was turned already by Henry. Good save by Westerveld. And quite rightly, Joe. Just never really, Henry, got any great purchase on the second shot.
We're going to see a change by Arsenal now, for certain. So Wiltord off, Parler on.
Yeah, I would think that Parler will just go and sit in his normal right-hand side midfield position, and Freddie Lundberg just go and probably play off Thierry Henry, that little pocket in front of the 2 Liverpool central defenders, especially if they're going to push forward now, which they have to.
Lundberg has suddenly become a very central figure in all this.
Yeah, but I think it's, judging a man of the match, he's very, very instrumental in all of Arsenal's best chances, and of course the goal.
And there's got to be another gamble taken here by Gerard Houllier now. Robbie Fowler has to be brought into play, and Danny Murphy is gone towards the touchline. I think Berger might be coming on as well. Yes. Fowler and Berger on. Murphy goes off. But in the end, it was Schmitzer who got the beckoning finger, and Fowler now, Mark, has got to do what he did here in the Worthington Cup.
Well, he'll come and play up front alongside Michael Owen. Heskey go and play right-hand side from midfield, pushing on, and Patrick Berger down the left-hand side.
Here's Owen. Keown's had a gigantic game at the back for us. I don't think Therese knew who was behind him there. The answer was no one.
I think he was hoping it was Ashley Cole.
Am I right? Did that goal stem originally from a bad kick by Westerveld?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And then I think the ball came back to Liverpool, and they gave the ball away again a second time.
This is Gerrard. Oh, now Michael Owen! Great chance, Martin Keown gets to him. Oh, fantastic defending by Keown. Was that Liverpool's chance? The best glimpse Owen has had of the Arsenal goal all afternoon, but Keown somehow got to him to deny him. And here's Grimondy for Arsenal. Offside, there wasn't much in that, Mark.
No, it was a very, very close call, of which Henry is now currently debating with the referee's assistant, but great recovery from Martin Keown. Lovely little ball as well, Michael Owen. And first touch really just took it away from him, gave Keown just half a chance to use his strength.
Here's Marcus Babbel. There's still time for Liverpool to save this and force extra time in Cardiff. Carragher on this side of the pitch. Parler, who's got plenty of energy, having just come on, comes to meet him. And in fact, it's a free kick to Liverpool. This could be dangerous. McAllister to curl it in. Babbel forward. Hoopier forward. Oh, and Hoopier gets right in the middle of that. Pushing and shoving. And there's the shot. And there's the equaliser. Michael Owen. Michael Owen has done it. With only 8 minutes to go, Liverpool are level. And you just can't keep a good goal scorer down, can you, for very long? The ball was in the air a long time here. Arsenal didn't really get it away, and Owen rifles that in the corner. Seaman didn't even have a chance to dive. It's Arsenal 1, Liverpool 1, and we're facing extra time.
And it's a marvellous, marvellous reaction by Michael Owen, and form is probably the best form of his life, goal-scoring form at the moment, and Once he got his foot on it, there was only one Evans.
Oh, we've got a game now, Mark. We've got a cup final now. Low into Owen again. Is there a winner in this? Berger. Oh, goodness, that's hit Keon and gone out for a corner to Liverpool. The game's turned completely. 7 in 4 games for Owen. Corner to Liverpool. McAllister to take it. Hoopier on the line as he caused all that confusion last time, which really brought about the goal. Babel is there as well. No longer 1-0 to the Arsenal. McAllister. Well, now, while all that's been happening, Arsene Wenger has got another card to play. The Nigerian Kanu, with 5 minutes of normal time to go. Is it Freddie Ljungberg, the goal scorer, who's going off, Mark?
Yes, he is indeed. Just Kanu come on and just play that little hole, just really in front of Thierry Henry, and try to get Liverpool turned at the back. And the other thing about Owen's goal as well, John, was that he had a half chance 2 minutes before, like great goal scorer, just completely forgot about it.
Here's Henry, but there's nobody in the middle for him to pass to. Well, Henry will be surely thinking how he could and should have made it 2-0. That would have definitely ruled out a Liverpool recovery, but while it was 1, you never were sure. But Owen was certainly very certain of the finish. This is Berger. And now Fowler. Owen to his left. Robbie Fowler's gone below. And over comes Ashley Cole. You wouldn't back against a winner in the last 4 minutes, would you?
No, just the way, also a warning sign for Arsenal, the way Robbie Fowler just walks past Tony Adams.
Do Liverpool really want extra time with the UEFA final on Wednesday? Listen to the Liverpool supporters. The psychological edge has changed completely here. McAllister again. And Patrick Berger is well forward. That's a goal kick.
There's a much better shape to Liverpool as well. Obviously, Berger naturally left-footed down the left-hand side, and I think obviously Fowler alongside Owen and Heskey with the pace and power down the right-hand side, and will actually run all day for in that position.
Perez trying to get down the Arsenal left, but the sting has gone out of their attack since Liverpool equalised. Well, since really Henry missed that chance to make it 2-0. But you never know in cup finals, do you? Arsenal scored in the last minute against Sheffield Wednesday 8 years ago, and we're nearly at the last minute of normal time here. Perez is waiting to take a free kick. Kanu is right in the centre of the penalty area. Vieira's coming in behind him. That's Kanu. This is Berger. And Robbie Fowler looks sprightly now. He wants the ball played early, but so does Owen. And he's getting the other side of Dixon. Michael Owen for Liverpool. Yes! Oh, he's done it! What an incredible few minutes from Michael Owen. Unbelievable stuff. It's the 43rd minute of the second half. And Michael Owen might have won the FA Cup for Liverpool. And if he has, what a turnaround. And what a finish this time. Arsenal looked a bit flat-footed at the back when he started the run, but don't take anything away from him. Patrick Berger plays a ball from the middle of the field. Dixon is the defender. Owen pushes him aside. The angle doesn't look great, and he's beaten Seaman down to the left-hand side.
Wow, what an absolutely brilliant piece of opportunism. I mean, hit the ball so early past Seaman. Seaman was still setting himself the pace and strength to get past Dixon. Adams turned him away down the left-hand side. He quite happily went in that direction, and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, there are 2 minutes of the 90 left. And if Liverpool can just hold out now, it's their FA Cup, and it'll be their second cup to be won here at Cardiff. Here's Vieira. But what a goal it would be to win a cup final. And what a good mark, we've got to say now, haven't we? We wrote off the first half, rightly so, but the second half has really lived up to the occasion.
Well, it's just been a completely different match, the second half. Completely different match.
Is there time for Bergkamp, do you think?
No.
Just look at those supporters. No doubt off to Dortmund, many of them, after this. And there are frantic signals going out from the bench that we are, in fact, in the last minute.
Substitution for Arsenal, replacing number 2.
Dixon's going off.
It's number 10,
and
Dennis Bergkamp.
Is it too late for Dennis Bergkamp to make any impression? The 90 minutes are up. We're now in time that Steve Dunn, the referee, has allocated for stoppages. Arsenal are going to try and save the game and force extra time themselves now. Thierry Henry, Kanu is in the middle, and Keogh with the header.
The fourth official has indicated 3 minutes overtime. 3 minutes.
So, 3 minutes of added time here for Arsenal to save a cup final that at one stage they looked to have comfortably won. Fowler. After all his injury problems and form doubts earlier in the season, Mark, what a day for Owen to really come, well, what a few weeks he's had, really.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. And I think the other key to the game, John, was how quickly Liverpool got their equaliser.
McAllister hooks the ball forward for Liverpool. Now then, Berger having to defend here on this side of the pitch. It's Ray Parlour for Arsenal. It may not be over. Kanu. Well, it's come back to Ashley Cole. Bergkamp got his first glimpse there of the ball. Adams is still forward. This is Bergkamp. Perez. Adams is in there still. Gerrard for Liverpool did well. Oh, look at this now. He's onside, Robbie Fowler. And he's got Owen to his left. He must play it, surely. Oh, dear, dear, dear. 2 against 1. That would have been curtains for Arsenal. But it hasn't happened. Vieira. To Parlour. And Kanu's in there, but it's too long. What about that Fowler to Owen business there?
Well, he was just too casual, wasn't he? He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He only had really Keogh to confront and just wanted to wrap a little pass around him, and Keogh got there somehow, stopped the pass going through to Owen.
Everybody, oh, look at that sadness there. Everybody in the stadium is gripped by this now. Now, who'll go and get the cup, I wonder? Hoopier, who captained the team from the start, or Fowler, the club captain, who's on as a substitute, and here he is free. Robbie Fowler, can he finish it? Oh, David Seaman makes the save. One more chance for Arsenal, maybe. Well, there isn't. Liverpool have won the FA Cup in Cardiff to add to the Worthington Cup. Michael Owen, the hero. The UEFA Cup may be still to come. A remarkable second half in which Arsenal looked to have the game won when Ljungberg put them ahead. But what spirit Gerard Houllier and his staff have engendered at Anfield now. Liverpool may have felt tired, but they somehow summoned up greater reserves in the last 15 minutes, or the last 10 minutes probably, than Arsenal did. And it's Arsenal who are flat on their backs. And it's Michael Owen who is celebrating with 2 goals from the master marksman that win the 2001 FA Cup. Mark Lawrenson.
Well, quite simply, John, Michael Owen had 3 chances in the game. He took 2 absolutely brilliantly, and he's been the difference between the 2 sides. But you would have to say that Arsenal in the second half, the way they raised the tempo and started the second half, they made all the chances. There is no doubt they could have been away beyond Liverpool, but when it was always at 1-0 and you've got somebody called Michael Owen in your side, you're always going to have a chance, and exactly how it's happened today for Liverpool.
The first FA Cup final in the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff is won by Liverpool. And Arsenal, the losers, finishing the season empty-handed, except for those losers' medals being presented by His Royal Highness the Duke of York. Ljungberg, who scored their goal, must be wondering just where the match went. Disappointed Arsene Wenger, who must have felt, well, they were, his team were completely in charge. And here comes the trophy. Now then, Jamie Redknapp, who's been out all season with an injury, is being pushed forward here by his teammates. And looks as though he's going to be sent up with Robbie Fowler. It's a nice touch.
The winners of the FA Cup, sponsored by AXA. Final time, 2001, Liverpool!
A Worthington Cup and an FA Cup double for Liverpool, and it could become a treble. They're the first team since Arsenal, in fact, to win both the domestic trophies in one season. Gerard Houlier's team have done 2 out of 3, and the third is still awaiting them in Dortmund on Wednesday.
We knew even before the game that they were a better side, more mature, probably more ability to use the ball. I think we can also show better, but maybe because we're a bit young and inexperienced, at times our passing from the back was a bit erratic, and it cost us a goal. But football is, you know, skill to win, but also will to win.
An extraordinary game for Arsenal. Can you explain exactly what happened?
What happened is difficult to explain, but as well simple, because we didn't take our chances and we conceded goals at the moment where we shouldn't have done it. I think especially the first one was a cheap goal, and when you're 1-0 up with 7 minutes to go, we didn't show that kind of determination, and I feel that it's a little bit like our season. We've shown a lot of qualities, and when you have to wrap the games up or kill the games off, we can't do it, and in the end we got punished.
Well, Michael, first of all, many congratulations. How good was that?
Oh, it was fantastic. I've lost my voice already. It shows you how excited I am, but it was a fantastic victory for the lads. Obviously, we didn't play the best we've ever played, but you know, scored 2 in the last few minutes. I mean, how dramatic's that?
People have been saying that the FA Cup doesn't matter. It matters very much to players, doesn't it?
Oh, it's got so much history and it's steeped in tradition. You know, and you can't tell me it doesn't mean that much, you know, and people would rather be in the Champions League. I'm glad I've got a wee pop at the Champions League next Saturday, but that'll never go away from my memory.
Last time I spoke to you, you said to me that the treble was a distinct possibility. I don't suppose you've changed your mind, have you?
We'll be extremely limited, if not restricted to nothing tonight in terms of celebration. Same after the game against Alaves, whatever happens, because the Charlton game is also a massive game for us. But I'm sure together we'll have a celebration on Sunday, I hope.
Yeah, many congratulations to Liverpool, but unlucky Arsenal?
Easy for you to say. No, I think they were a bit unlucky. They were the better side. I think that they dominated the play, dominated the possession. And for 80 minutes they dominated the chances. They had a host of chances, but unfortunately for them, the game lasted for 93 minutes, and this is a Liverpool side that didn't play well in the day, but are now renowned for their fighting spirit, their grit and determination, and their ability to go for that length of time. And I've got to say, to be fair, that after Michael Owen got the first goal for Liverpool, there's only going to be one winner.
He's the little man for the big occasion. That's 8 goals now in his last 4 games, including today. But it wasn't that long ago. People were writing him off.
Exactly. Just before Christmas, he had 1 or 2 bad injuries, and people were writing him off. Every striker that age goes through a lean spell. I think he's come at any age. Yeah, I think he's come at the back at a better player. I really do. I think he's technically better. I think he's the player for the big occasion, as he's proved time and time again with England. This is in the 3rd minute. He gets the ball wide here. He attacks Dixon, comes inside, beats him on the outside. Decent ball in, cleared well. He actually went on his holidays for the rest of the game until the 81st minute, and then great ball from Gerrard, and it's coming. You can see it's going to come. And when it does come, it comes with a bang, because this is absolutely clinical finishing. Ball in from McAllister. I think it's his sharpness running about the area. He's just watching. Fantastic finish, but from this angle, great position to volley it, and the keeper's got no chance. Then it's just a ball over the top from Berger. This is his great strength. He's onto it quick, shrugs off Dixon, takes away from Adams, ball's in the bottom corner, and that is absolutely fantastic.
Fault Seaman there at all?
I don't think he pinged it into the bottom corner. I think that 3 or 4 years ago, David Seaman would have saved that. I would say as well, if it had been played through the inside right position, and Keown